Welcome back, everybody, to the show. I am your host, as always, Jay Villain, aka That Villain J. And tonight, we have a very special treat for you. Yes, we do. What do we got? Numbskull with me, as always, is my co-host Numbskull. What do we got tonight? The numbest of skulls. There he is.
We have some aftermath for you guys.
We have some aftermath for you guys.
And it's the things that happened after the big show. It's
yes.
What's left over? How do we proceed? And
where do we go from here?
Where do we go from here? And they're going to answer that question in card form. Well, I guess we're going to answer that question in card form for you guys today.
Yeah.
And some spoilers if you didn't catch that.
If you don't want to know the cards, they're coming out real soon. These are all standard legal. Okay, there's been some confusion. Some people telling me they're only for historic, they're only for pioneer, they're commander only. No, this is a standard legal set.
Yep.
And I also, before we get started too, I want to say that the image of the cards that we're going to show were all legally obtained. They were not.
They're on the internet.
They're on the internet. As far as we know, they were all properly released through the proper channels. So, we don't want to upset anybody by revealing any information.
We don't want anybody showing up at our house.
We don't want any midnight door knocks or anything like that.
Well, I live in Pennsylvania. People know better.
Oh yeah, because
you can just shoot them.
What do they call headlights on a driveway in the middle of the night? That's bad.
Yeah, don't do
that.
You'll get shot. In Pennsylvania, too many people have guns. They know better.
So yeah, we don't want to play any Red Dead Redemption Part 2. If you know what I'm talking about. There was a little bit of a leak, and Wizards didn't like that, and may have hit the hammer a little bit too hard. Personally, I wouldn't have gone that hard. But then again, I'm not the CEO of a big company.
I don't even understand how, because that was private security. I don't even understand how that dude just didn't make them go away.
Yeah, I think they're relying on the intimidation factor that, people are frightened.
Legally speaking, they were just trespassing. So
yeah,
I don't know. It was kind of weird. I would have just told him to leave.
So yeah, and I think that he may not have known. A lot of people get scared in that circumstance. A lot of people aren't familiar. I'm aware. I work with the legal system all the time in my job. If people don't know, I work in social services, so I work with government agencies, law enforcement. I work with everybody. Yeah, I've just been like, are you a police officer? No, I don't ever want to talk to you. And even if you were a police officer, I wouldn't want to talk to you. So bit surprising. I listen. So a similar thing happened with Warhammer, which you may, longtime viewers know that I really do like Warhammer, where one of their models, one of their little figurines got leaked, and somebody got it early. They painted it and showed it on the internet. Games Workshop, for as many of their problems as they have with these situations, they went, oh wow, I guess there's somebody got an Imperial spy got it past whatever. They made a joke out of it. They featured it. They said, well, he did a good job. At least somebody who's a good painter got it and said, yeah, sorry about that, and it's still coming out, whatever. So they kind of laughed it off, and everyone had a jolly good time with it. I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like this is a Streisand effect. It's the reaction to the leak is worse than the leak at a certain point. I feel like PR, like your public relations department, was not consulted with whoever made that decision to, it could have been handled with so much. You could have got the cards back. You could have handled it with so much more grace. You've been like, oh, listen, this guy was so eager. He got these cards early. So you know what? We have to take these ones back because of embargo reasons, for distribution reasons. But, we're going to give him a whole prize pack. We're going to send him and 2 extra booster boxes and some merch. And, because he's such an enthusiastic fan, he couldn't wait, couldn't help himself. He was so, I don't know. Even
people would have they would have read between the lines and been like, yeah, that guy freaking pulled one over on them, but they they had to play nice because they're the ones who screwed up anyway.
Yeah,
and that's fine. That's fine. If you have to do it that way, you do it that way, and you lose like a couple $100, if that, in opportunity cost.
Yeah,
and it's not. But I don't know. Like it that could all be like a It could even like be staged. You know, who knows? They could even set it up to make people talk about Aftermath.
Who knows? But we're here with Aftermath with the legally obtained internet cards. So that's the point what we wanted to make here.
Yeah, we have those.
We have those. And we also, do you know what else we have? We have patrons supporting us here in the Black Council.
We do.
That lets us do what we do. This is all previews. We can do previews. We did a deck build, a very popular deck build last week. We do all kind of stuff here in the Black Council. It's a special show that I have on my channel with the Numbest of Skulls over here. And we are supported by patrons. And if you want to join our Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/theblackcouncil. You get all sorts of rewards, which is going on now. We are going to be running a tournament here very soon. We're doing a Grand Prix tournament for all the council members and previous guests. We're going to be we have an exclusive Discord, and I think in the Discord they wanted a lore video. I don't know if you saw in the questions requests, but I wanted to talk about. A lot of people were hyped about some dragons lore, so I've been doing a little research.
We can do that.
I was thinking about doing another lore video about dragons. I also want to maybe do a lore video about angels, because that's kind of more relevant now to the story, as we're going to see. So I think dragons looks like it's been voted on by the council. Like that's the unanimous next lore interpretation that they'd like. And if you want to have your say, if you want to join the secret Patreon, the secret Discord, you can join us on our Patreon for as little as $1 a month. You can follow that link. You can give $1, you can give $2, you can give $1 per episode. All of this just goes back into the channel to help us buy our, streaming equipment, more cards, all the stuff to bring you the best quality stuff here. And we'd like to thank our patrons as well.
Yeah, let's do it. I got the list here. Thank you to Mother of Steel, W. Taylor, Sechuan Anon, King Leo, Elvan Bream, Xylo, Jamel, Stumfa, T-Rex, Lord Gypticus, Mamulian, Cassius, Nickel Nuts, H-Man, Dante Valentine, Clever Sounds still with us. We love you, Clever. Blood Chief, Peridabo, I should say.
Yes.
Good old Peridabo.
A pair of Dabos. Not only just one of them, but a pair of them. So fantastic. Thank you guys for helping support us. We're at 20. I think we're at 20 or 19 right now. When we get to 30, we'll have to think of another reward for you guys. I don't know what it'll be, but
I think we were saying giveaway, merch,
maybe giveaway. We do have merch too, by the way. If we have our logo, our Black Council seal logo, we have pack jackets, champion stuff, beanies, all kind of crap.
We could send you like we could do like a merch gift pack,
Yeah, we could definitely
do
that.
Things of your choosing, of the winner's choosing, maybe.
I gotta buy one of those ball caps for summer. I really need one. Anyways, I've been going out. My sunglasses are just not doing it. It's getting too bright here. So what are we talking about? Aftermath. Aftermath is what happens is when you have social studies. You have it after math. Oh my god. Oh god. All right. Thank you, everyone. That's the end of the podcast.
You know what's funny? In high school, I always had math in the afternoon.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I was just thinking about that. Yeah. The one year I didn't even take math because I didn't have to. It was great.
Yeah. I blocked it out from my memory, so.
I got lucky and didn't have to do any like calculus or anything like that. You know what I mean?
I did trig. I remember I did trig, and I got away with it in college. I didn't have to take math because I took a logic, which counted as a math credit.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So that was really nice. Anyways, we're way off topic.
Sorry. There's a lot of cards to read. Well, not a lot, but there's
actually not. So again, I want to reiterate this. Let me bring up the cards because we're going to go over a few and we're going to talk about our favorites. I don't even know if we're going to do a top 10 because basically there's only 10 cards we might only play. So this might be the only observation we do of these cards right here.
We might each do like a top 3 or something. Maybe.
Yeah.
And do we know that these are these are all of the cards?
I believe, I think so. I think it's all been out there. Let me check how many cards in Mom Aftermath. No, that's not right. It says 200. No, yeah, it's a micro set containing of 50 cards, and it says it right here in boosters 50. So yeah, this 50, is all of them.
Yeah. And it looks like each card has a showcase. Then in this case,
it would appear
cool.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about it too, I don't think there's any commons. I think the pack-ins are going to be commons from.
Ooh.
There's still going to be commons in it, but they're going to be common cards of the previous set.
Wow, I'm liking some of these cards, Jay.
Yeah, they're very good. There's a few of them that are real cool. Some people didn't like them, but I've seen a few that have some power in them. So we're going to go over pretty much all of them. We'll probably skip the blue ones because blue is bad and we don't like it. So if there's some stuff that's crap, we'll just go right over it. So again, I really, and I can't express how much I've seen people say this. This is standard, guys. This is a bonus standard set. This is a new thing they're doing. I don't think Wizards has ever done this before, where they release a basically a kicker set, if you want to call it, to use Magic parlance. Legal. Yeah, that's standard legal of just like a bunch of extra crap. So yeah, this is going to come to Arena. It's not Alchemy. It
will be playable in Alchemy.
It will be playable in Alchemy, but this is going to affect the game. So
and it's being released in lieu of an Alchemy set as well.
Yes,
there will be no Alchemy set.
Yeah, there will be no Mom Alchemy.
Just Mom Aftermath.
Just Mom Aftermath. Aftermath Mom.
Should we just call it Placenta?
Oh God.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. and so close. Oh, you got me with that one. Normally I'm the one doing the bad.
That was pretty good, right?
And so yeah, it's the Mom Afterbirth. There you go.
The Mom Afterbirth.
Exactly.
Oh God. All right, I'm sorry. I'll do the first one.
Yeah, you take the first one here. A little bit of Soldier Edition here.
Okay, so it's like a half human lord, Copper Coat Vanguard, 2 mana 2/2. It's an uncommon, so solid. Each other human notably. So he does not buff himself, but he's not legendary. You can have multiple. Each other human you control gets +1/+0 and has ward 1. Whatever. Well, you know what ward is. And then that's cool since he's not legendary because you could stack the ward. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Whatever. 2-drop, sure. It's not better than like Luminarch Ass Pirate, but whatever.
No. Big shout out to anybody playing Azorius Soldiers. You're getting it in.
Yeah, that's pretty solid given all the guys ward. Yeah, definitely good for Azorius Soldiers, but also like probably still not better than like Harbin, probably not better than the Lord. So probably like decent draft. I don't know if they're gonna have draft for this set or
Banger
not.
and Artisan, by the way.
Artisan Banger, that's true. Yep.
Because it's not often you see an uncommon Lord. They're generally rare higher. Deification. Now I'm glad I get to talk about this one because I get to talk about another card from way back when. 1 white and 1 is Deification enters. Choose a Planeswalker type. The Planeswalker type would be the name of the Planeswalker, meaning that if you have an Elspeth Planeswalker, would apply to all of the Elspeth Planeswalkers. That's their type. Is Ajani, Elspeth, whatever, Sarkhan. Planeswalkers you control of the chosen type have hexproof. As long as you control a creature, if damage dealt to a Planeswalker you control of the chosen type would result in all loyalty counters on it being removed, instead remove all with 1. It makes Planeswalkers invincible. This is a shoot off of a card that people used to use back in the day called Warship. There was a card called Warship. It was a white card. Maybe I'll throw it up on the screen. And if any damage that you took as a player would reduce you below 1 life, it reduced it to 1 instead.
Okay.
And it was Sarah, by the way, that did that, which also has a story connection because we see here a statue of, or at least I hope that's a statue. I hope it's not giant Elspeth standing there. I think it's a statue of Elspeth in her archangel form, who I believe, if we're talking about lore, she's going to become the new Sarah. She's going to become the archangel Sarah and take over and rebuild the realm of Sarah, maybe. And she is like the reincarnation of the goddess Sarah, who created all the angels way back in Urza's day. So we're talking 7,000 years ago. So it's, cool. It's basically the worship effect, except for planeswalkers, which is really good. Yeah. So yeah, really, really cool stuff there. Interesting for all you planeswalkers players. I don't do it, but hey, if that's your thing, yeah, I'm not going to judge you. Unless you're running Esper Legends with only planeswalkers, then I am going to judge you because I don't like you if you do
that. Next one here, Harnessed Snubhorn. It's a 4 mana. It's a dinosaur. It's a 2/5. Vigilance. When he's dealt combat, or sorry, when he deals combat damage to a player, return target artifact or enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Oh wow,
they're fucking broken.
Portals.
Yeah, that's immediately running portals.
And it's an uncommon. Wow. All right. Well,
I want to give this thing double strike, and that way it hits twice.
Security bypass, double strike. Can't
security bypass. Security bypass, double strike. It returns 2 artifacts from the graveyard. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, and I'm sorry. I jumped right to this guy. I wanted to make a comment on deification.
Oh, sure.
Did you ever notice that the Wandering Emperor doesn't have a planeswalker type?
She doesn't?
No.
It should be.
It doesn't say anything.
Oh, shoot. They're going to have to errata that, and I'm sure she's supposed to. I
think
they probably haven't decided what it is.
She's supposed to be like immune, or but it's all, I guess it's bad. But yeah, there's no type listed.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to print an errata for that. Yeah. I guess because they haven't decided on name, because they call her the Nameless Wanderer, the Ceaseless Wanderer. So they have to.
Emperor, and then what's the other one? Eternal Wanderer.
Eternal Wanderer. Yeah.
She has not yet been named.
Okay. Yeah, they'll have to name her for that, or she'll just fall into the cracks and it won't matter.
Just keep wandering.
Just keep on wandering. So this card I like to call "Go Fuck Yourself" Red, which we needed one of those. We needed a "Go Fuck Yourself" Red card. Why is this? This is Metropolis Reformer. It is an Angel Cleric. Love it. You know, I just put out an Angel Cleric deck. 1 white and 2/3 flying and vigilance. You have hexproof, meaning that this player, whoever plays her, has hexproof. You cannot be the target of spells or abilities. No bolt to the face. Whenever Metropolis is dealt damage, you gain that much life. So even trying to bolt it out or not hit direct removal on it, doing it out with damage, rushing, anything like that is going to gain that much life. Very bad for Stompy, because if I block you, you're swinging in with an 8/8 Stompy, I'm going to gain that 8 life on the back end. Even if you have trample, I'm going to come out ahead. So very, very much so. But I think that as a turn 3 drop, fighting mono red, you're gonna feed me life and you can't bolt me directly. It's a bad look. I can also attack and retain a blocker. Very powerful card, I think. Very powerful.
Kind of gives me like Redain vibes,
Yeah.
And also, well, it's crazy that it's not a legendary. Equally, I believe because of the trigger on that, it's gonna work like inverted lifelink. But I believe, and I'm not a judge, so we'll see. But I believe that the way it would resolve is, let's say you were dealt enough damage to go to 0 or go below 0 in combat or in any damage, whatever. If that was dealt damage and you gained the life, it would kind of work like lifelink. So if you would temporarily go below 0, but because it's all at once,
you would go up again.
You would go back up, and if it would bring you above 0, then you wouldn't actually be dead. I believe that's how that works. We'll have to test it out to be completely sure. But I think because lifelink is technically triggered by dealing damage or damage being dealt, which means it's part of the thing that happens all at once, because damage all happens at once unless there's
simultaneous,
whatever, simultaneously at the same time, all at once. But yeah, so I think that would mean that if you were to go to 0 or below, if that's dealt enough damage, you might not actually die. So consider that when you're declaring blockers and stuff. Just wanted to throw that out there. Next one, Spark Rupture. Now here's what's like the antithesis of the other card. So 3 mana, it's an enchantment. When an ETB draw a card, sorry. Each planeswalker with 1 or more loyalty counters on it loses all abilities and is a creature with power and toughness equal to the number of loyalty counters on it. Well, that's noteworthy. So I hope your planeswalkers have. Well, no, because the static effect is an ability as well. So it's just straight up.
They're all ripped.
Yeah, it's just a creature, just straight. So like Chandra doesn't double cast.
Mm-hmm.
Things
they all
like
just
that.
become
Okay,
people.
Yeah.
I don't know if everybody lost their spark. I think a lot of people did, but I don't think they all did. However, there are omen paths now open between all the worlds. They're left by Phyrexia. They basically left holes in the multiverse, so you don't actually need a spark to walk between worlds now. It's still dangerous, but that's why they did that. There's going to be a focus on creatures, I think. So I think that there's 2 different directions that Planeswalker kind of went in, which is interesting. This deification where they're getting god level powers again because they're being worshipped as gods, which they previously were, and being turned into normal people. So like that middle ground that Planeswalkers let in kind of got ripped in 2 different directions. So interesting lore repercussions. Also, you can take your Planeswalker tribal and you can just go play with that somewhere else, man. You just take that, you just scoop that shit up. Just scoop that shit up and get away from my table. So that's some good stuff right there. Tazri, Stalwart Survivor. There she is. 1 white and 2. Each creature you control has 1 mana. Add mana of any of this creature's color. Spend this mana only to activate creature. Blah 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 blah. Activate. Blah, 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 blah. Mill 5 cards. Put all creature cards with activated abilities that aren't mana abilities from the milled cards in your hand. I guess if you're running Rainbow or you want to do some crazy nonsense, this is one of those crazy bank shot combo cards. I don't really care.
Yeah,
personally.
Whatever. It's like Joda at home, or like great value Joda.
Great value Joda, yeah.
So I don't know what's going on here. This is like Consuming Tide, but not with creatures.
Yeah.
So like whatever.
If you're ramping, I guess, if they're treasure ramping.
Yeah, that can be good.
Yeah.
The other one, what is it? Rejection counter. With rejection counter creature. I mean, whatever. It's like that's 5, man. I don't think anybody's gonna actually.
I mean, an uncommon 5
card, doesn't it?
It's not great. It's one of the ones that's not great.
No, this one. Okay, maybe that one's good if you want to try that one. The Training Grounds.
Activated abilities of creatures you controls 2 less. Not bad. This effect can't reduce that mana to 1 less. So I mean, 1 blue for activated abilities being cheaper. I can see that being useful in a Praetor deck. Definitely.
Yeah. For flipping. Yeah.
You know, that makes it a little easier. Yeah. All the Praetors also have some other shit you have to do too. I think only Vorinclex is just a huge cost.
Other stipulations.
There's other stipulations, but it could still help. So if you have a lot of activated abilities, this could help. I mean, it's 1 blue, so if you're really focusing on that, it's kind of niche. Also has that kind of old school pastel magic art on it, which I like.
Yeah, that is interesting art. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. Vesuvian Drifter, 2/4 flyer. Look at the top card of your library anytime for 3 mana. This one's a rare. Beginning of each combat, you may reveal the top card. If you reveal a creature card, it becomes a copy of that card until end. Okay, that's kind of cool. That's pretty cool. I don't mind that. That's like the fun blue, you know?
Looking at the top card of your library in a blue card challenge, parentheses impossible. Every blue card has some sort of scry effect. They just don't know what else to do with it. This is fine. I mean, if you're running a lot of scry, if you're running Dimir and you're running Surveil maybe, and you know what's coming, you can get that. You can get double copies out. You know,
I think it would work with Hidetsugu then too, because Hidetsugu kind of lets you like organize cards on the top of your library a certain way.
But it's one of those like very specific circumstance cards that'll work well.
It is rather particular, yes, but it is pretty legit. I'll say that. Okay.
Next. Ayawar's Oswarm. Am I doing this one? You're doing this one. I'll do this one.
Go ahead.
Right,
or wait, yeah. I just did Drifter. Sorry.
1 black and 1 white. Menace. Whenever Ayawar's Oswarm is dealt combat damage to a player, if it has fewer than 4 1/1 counters, put a 1/1 counter in it. Then, if it has exactly 4, search your library for a card, put in your hand, then shuffle. It is a 2/2 Menace Knight that slowly gains 1/1 counters and has a very specifically targeted demonic tutor effect.
Yeah, sick art too. Yeah, I like it. Okay. And then we have this is basically our Soul Shatter reprint, but it is targeting. So it's like the Soul Shatter that doesn't work in Commander, basically. Blot Out. Now it is an uncommon, probably a little cheaper. And there's maybe a little bit of power creep, you could say. So 3 mana. Target opponent exiles. Well, yeah, now instead of sacrificing, it's exiling.
Exile.
Target opponent exiles a creature or planeswalker they control with the greatest mana value among creatures and planeswalkers they control. So same effect as Soul Shatter, but your trade here is you get to exile it, but you do not. Or you don't get to say all opponents. You have to target someone still. So if someone's using the card like we just mentioned. Metropolis Reformer, you can't target them with that. So just little nuance going on there. It can be. It was pretty difficult to deal with Soul Shatter. Nobody could really mitigate a Soul Shatter, and Blot Out can be. There are a few cards that kind of get around.
Yeah,
that are just white even. You know what I mean? So that's something to consider.
I also like that. The really cool art on it because it is Kamigawa in the background. I like to see that. I also like that it's all the colors of Magic coming out. It's green, blue, red, and black and white, all kind of mixed in there. So that's a nice little touch. I noticed that. Good on you, Chris Cold. Oni, Death Rattle Oni. Look at this crazy guy. We got a demon here. I don't think he's that good. He could be good. He could be post
combat, yeah.
Post combat good. So he's 7, 1 black. He costs 2 less for each other creature that died this turn. So if you're running mono black and you're killing, he's probably always going to cost at least 5 because you should be killing once a turn. He's flash, which is nice. When this creature costs 2 less for each creature that died this turn, and then when he enters the battlefield, destroy all the creatures that were dealt damage this turn. A nice post combat one. Could even be something like, play removal or play wipe and then play him for cheap. I'm thinking maybe if you have 7 mana out, you get a Invasion of Fiora and then drop him.
1 mana. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's good and probably good in draft too.
Yeah, probably pretty decent. And you're the lucky one. You get this. I know. This card.
Markov Baron. I'm glad we have a Markov card in all of this madness. So no 2/2 3 mana, 2/2 3 mana vampire. It does have Convoke as well, so it can be convoked. It can do 2 creatures because it does have 1 black in the casting cost. It has lifelink and it is a lord. Other vampires you control get +1/+1. So now you have access to a lord as a 3-drop and a lord as a 4-drop for vampires. So consider that. It also has Madness, which is the same cost, which I believe you can convoke Madness.
I think you can, yes, because Madness is a casting cost.
Yeah, and you use Convoke to reduce a casting cost.
Yeah.
So you can basically Madness for 1 by tapping 2 creatures.
Yeah, and so if you have any self discard or force discard, this one can fit in very nicely. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. I'm gonna be building a mono black vampire. Come on, what do you think I'm doing? I actually really like this one coming up. Urberg Scavengers. Urberg. 1 black 2/2. Whenever Urberg Scavengers enters the battlefield or attacks, exile target card from a graveyard. We love the graveyard hate. Put a 1/1 counter on Urberg Scavengers. Urberg Scavengers has flying as long as the card has X-Fly. So the same is true for first strike, double strike, haste, death touch, hexproof, indestructible, lifelink, menace, reach, trample, and vigilance. So every main creature ability, if it exiles one of those creatures, it soaks up that ability.
It's like that white card that used to get if another creature was on the board that had an ability, it would get that.
Yep. That's the one. That was called a Thunderous Orator.
Yeah, so it's like a black or a Thunderous Orator.
Yeah,
and it hates in the graveyard in true black card fashion. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, like it. I actually like this.
Yeah, solid. Okay, and then we have Arnie. Arnie did make an appearance. He did join us in this.
I liked Arnie back in the day.
In the shenanigans. Yeah. So he's a 3-mana legendary human berserker. Whenever a creature you control attacks or a creature enters the battlefield under your control, attacking, you may pay 2. If you do, you may put a creature card with mana value less than that creature's mana value from your hand on the battlefield tapped. Okay, that can get out of hand.
Yeah. If you're ramping and he's kind of pushing, he can bring.
You
stuff
could do
out
like
immediately.
ninjutsu.
Yeah, he's kind of a berserk ninjutsu.
Yeah, so you do like Grixis ninjutsu or something like that.
Yeah, that would be really interesting.
That's kind of cool. You know. Okay.
I liked Arnie even in his old one, and he has a troll tooth stuck in his head, and now he has a Phyrexian tooth.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Good for him. Cool. Yeah.
I thought that was like a horn. I didn't know it was a tooth.
No, he's called Arnie Brokebrow Brevious because he headbutted a troll and killed it, but its tooth got stuck in his head.
Oh, and now it's metal because of the Phyrexian.
And now he apparently headbutted some sort of Phyrexian, and he has a metal thing spike stuck in his head.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Kolgan Warmonger, 1 red, 2. Nice to see some Tarkir cards represented here. Ogre Warrior, 3/2 haste. I hope we go back to Tarkir. Whenever Kolgan Warrior attacks you, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You reveal a dragon card from among them, put in your hand, with the rest of your bottom library in random order. So a Dragon Searcher card right here. I mean, a 3/2 haste for 3 that searches a dragon. Man, I feel like it's missing something.
Maybe it needs to be like a 3/3, or well, I mean, it is uncommon. Or it needs to...
I feel like we're just not quite there with it.
I also feel like there aren't enough dragons in standard right now to make that sound good.
To make that super good, yeah.
Yeah.
That I couldn't just...
need to give us some more dragons, because a lot of dragons rotated out last time.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like for 3, like, I would rather wait a turn and just cast, you know... What's that one? God-given riches. What the hell is it called? The one that makes treasure and draws cards.
Big score.
Big score. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. I don't know why I call it God-given riches. That's weird. But like, there's ways to draw cards in red that aren't just searching for a dragon. I feel like you're gonna come up with something. I don't know. Missing something. I'm not impressed.
Yeah. Plarg is back. Plarg and Sorry.
Plarg.
And once again, he has a paragraph. Not as much text as the last Plarg, though. I'll say that. An Orc Ifrit, 5 mana, 5/4, legendary Orc. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card. An opponent chooses a non-land card exiled this way. You may cast up to 2 spells from among the other cards exiled this way without paying their mana costs. That's pretty hefty.
Pretty hefty.
You know, that's a solid. I feel like that's better than the last Plarg. If you ask me.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the last Plarg was cheap, so at least we had that going for it.
True.
Hey, look, Nahiri's alive, everyone. One red and 1. She got unphyrexianized. I thought she looked cool with the arm blades. I wish she would have been able to keep those retractable. Search your library for an artifact card, reveal it, put it in your hand, shuffle, then discard a card at random. If an artifact card was discarded, this rail deals 2 damage. So basically, you can search for artifacts. If you discard an artifact while searching for one, it blows up. Sure, why not? Yeah, great.
Yeah,
I mean, it's probably good. It's probably very good at putting a Phyrexian portal in your graveyard.
Yeah, it's basically like fixing to have a portal in the grave. So that's a thing. Animist's Might. We're moving to the green cards now. It costs 2 less to cast if it targets a legendary creature you control. Target creature you control deals damage equal to twice its power to target creature or planeswalker you do not control. It is a sorcery. Just keep that in mind. It also costs 3 mana. Kind of expensive, but doubling is pretty crazy. It doesn't double it for combat, but something.
And it's two less if you're using a legendary creature to hurt them.
That's true. So yeah, it could be one on a legendary.
Honestly, as little green removal as we have, I'll take it.
Yeah, use it on your Pelucranos.
Yeah, but use it on your Pelucranos. Use it on your we have a lot of Nissa here because she's kind of going through something here. Leyline Immersion, enchant legendary creature. Activated creature has Ward 2 and activate 5 mana in any combination. Spend this only to cast spells. So basically, for 3 mana, you get a perfect ability to get 4 mana out of 5 mana out of it of every color as it goes. I'm sure our Rainbow Bros are going to be using that to great effect to cast all their crazy rainbow spells.
Probably.
Yeah.
And by Rainbow Bros, we mean people who play 5-color decks.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, we should clarify. The Rain Bros.
Rain Bros, yeah. All right, so here's the actual Nissa card. Nissa Resurgent Animus, 2 colorless, 1 green, legendary creature, Elf Scout. It's a 3/3, and we have Landfall. Landfall has made an appearance. Whenever it enters the battlefield under your control, add 1 mana of any color. Then if this is the second time this ability is resolved this turn, reveal cards on the top of your library until you reveal an elf or elemental card. Put that card into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. It's kind of like baby Omnath energy with like the first time and the second time, So that's kind of interesting. Is the Nissa Planeswalker better? Yes. But,
well, she got her spark ripped out.
Yeah. Oh, that's why she's a creature. I see.
She's a creature. Yeah, you didn't even notice that.
That's
she got completed, and the only way to uncomplete you is if your spark's ripped out.
Oh.
They can put you back in a regular body. Else? It happened to everybody.
I think. Oh, okay. Well, I meant in a card that we had read so far. I think not yet, but I think I saw another one for someone.
There's a few. Spark. Yeah, you'll see them.
Okay.
Big story stuff coming up. I'm glad I got this one. 2 green and X sorcery. X can't be greater than the number of players in the game, so X is always going to be 2 if you're playing it on Arena. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal X land. Put those land cards on the battlefield tapped, and the rest in your bottom of your library in any color. I don't know how useful that's going to be in a game that only has 2 players in it. But it certainly does exist.
Yeah. X can't be greater than 2. That's a little rough.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
I mean,
probably
for like Arena.
Yeah, for Commander, I get it. Like, okay, fine, but no, for Arena, we're stuck there.
Maybe
big news is that
precursor.
Yeah,
it's a precursor that we're gonna get multiplayer on Arena.
Ooh.
Probably never gonna happen. But
it's never. They'll have to make Arena too. They said the engine can't handle it.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
well,
they said
it's not a good engine.
Yeah, well, we know that, but big news though for Lore Bros. They're together now. They're good. That is going to be Chandra and Nissa. They kind of had a little thing in the past. They were kind of feeling each other. They were kind of feeling it during the War of the Spark, but it didn't happen. And now Chandra's back, and she's like, "I need you. I need you to be my boo. I need some of that elf. I need the elf pussy. I'm sorry. I can't stay away." So there's a little story about it. It's a nice little story about how they are gonna be together. They're gonna give it a shot. And Nissa was sad. She's like, "Well, would you want to be somebody who's desparked, who's not a planeswalker anymore? Because I can't jump around." They're like, "Well, we can go through the Omen paths. It's fine. I don't care." Because Chandra's still sparked. So Nissa got unsparked, but she got a girlfriend out of it. She got a redhead girlfriend out of it. So I mean, 6 of 1, half dozen.
Yeah. You win some, you lose some.
You win some, you lose some. Exactly. So
right.
little story for you there.
I like that. Tranquil Frillback. I love the colorfulness of this dinosaur. It is still a dinosaur.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. ETB, you can pay a green up to 3 times. And yeah, and then for however many you do, you get to choose it says up to that many. So I think you get to choose each one once. Maybe,
Yes.
or
you may pay up to X. You may choose any more than choosing up to that many. Yeah, you could do 3 of them, right?
You could do 3 of the same one.
Yeah.
So I could pay 3 green to gain 12 life, which is kind of wild, actually.
Which, is actually pretty wild.
That's pretty crazy.
Choose up to that many. No, wait. When you pay this cost 1 or more times, choose up to that many?
Yeah.
That's a little bit... That's weird.
It's a little too vague for me to understand if they mean I can do one of them 3 times or 2 times, or each one just once, you know.
I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see on that one.
Yeah.
Still good though. I mean, the fact that you can do a full exile thing for anything, and it's a 3/3. And you're right. They have been killing it on the dinosaur art lately.
Yeah. And I also like, just even, let's say you did one of each. Let's just say it only worked out that way. For 6 mana, you get a 3/3, and then you destroy an artifact or an enchantment. You exile a graveyard, and you gain 4 life. I feel like that's basically putting 4 cards in one. Still, it's actually a 4 for 1.
Well, yeah. I mean, green always has had these really good Swiss Army knife cards. You know.
So I'm still satisfied with that. You know what I mean?
I'm pretty happy with it.
Even if I can't gain 12 life.
Yeah.
If I can do each one and it actually, like, there's a reason for it, that's a really good card. Yeah.
We have Undercity upheaval here, a little bit of counter action. Here's Ravnica, 2 green and 1 sorcery undergrowth, which is ability. I think it's an older ability. You distribute X 1/1 counters among any number of target creatures you control, where X is the great number of creature cards in your graveyard as you cast a spell. Create creatures you control gain vigilance at the end of turn. So again, a self-mill, a self-kill, that kind of standard actual Golgari, not just the color Golgari, but house Golgari action there. For the more dead stuff you have, the more powerful it is.
Yeah, that's useful. It makes Golgari running. Okay, so now we're getting into the multicolor cards. We have Calyx, Guided by Fate. He has Constellation, so we're bringing back that. He is an enchantment creature as well, so you're getting your Theros fix here. He's a human druid, 3 mana, 2/2, Constellation. When him or another enchantment ETBs, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. When him or an enchanted creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may create a token that's a copy of a non-legendary enchantment you control. Do this only once each turn. That's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. I always like Calyx. I like this Planeswalker
copies
card.
Of enchantments. That's pretty cool.
Pretty solid. Campus Renovation. Return up to 1 target artifact or enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Exile the top 2 cards of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play those cards. Oh, look, more Resurrection and Boros. Who would have ever thought we would have more
history?
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. Reconstruction is the past is Lorehold's specialty. So it even has the word reconstruction right in there.
Yeah. A little Strixhaven action for you.
Yeah, there you go. So I guess we didn't have enough reanimator options in red and white. They felt like it was just not powerful enough. So there you go.
Well, all right. All right. So we have Cosmic Rebirth.
I like this one.
It is Selesnya, 3 mana. Choose target permanent card in your graveyard. If it has mana value 3 or less, you may put it onto the battlefield. Not bring it from the graveyard to the battlefield, put it onto the battlefield. So I guess that's kind of something. Because they word it differently for a reason. If you don't put it onto the battlefield, put it into your hand. You gain 3 life.
As an instant, this could be, I mean,
instant, that's pretty good.
Because you bring a blocker, you could bring back something with Death Touch. Could be pretty useful.
Yeah, it's almost like Flash out of the graveyard, which is like
which is unheard of.
Especially for, like, I don't know what, Pulukranos is 3 mana. Not to bring him up again, but that's
you sure like Pulukranos, because you've suggested him as an option for every card that we've
for green, that's my guy. That is my guy right there. I like Pulukranos a lot. I still really have just been playing mono black, but it was fun in early access, and it was fun, you know, in the other times that I've played him, which it hasn't been a lot, but you know, it's fun. And it just what's your beefiest 3 mana creature that you can think of? Probably that.
I I mean, in those colors, I can think of that one guy, Menace, Shakedown Bruiser.
Well, he's black, but yeah. And then there's what else? There is Topiary Stomper, which that's actually a decent ETB, but you gotta make sure you have enough land. So kind of some give and take. But Pelucranos is kind of legit, man.
Pelucranos.
But yeah.
Here we have Denitha, new Benalia's Light. I guess they're new Benalia now because they've been blown up like 8 times by the Phyrexians. It's another Selesnya card, 1 white, 1 green, and 1, 2/2 Vigilance Trample. Once during each of your turns, you may cast an order equipment spell from your graveyard. Again, a little bit more enchantment, a little bit of enchantment jank here.
I like the regular abilities too. Even
honestly, I don't really care about the order equipment. Just a 3-drop Vigilance Trample and Lifelink in the Night build is not bad.
Man, remember I don't know, 8-10 years ago, if it just had the 3 abilities and was a 2/2 for 3, that card would have been like insane. It would have been like the best 3-drop in Magic.
Yeah.
And now it's
now it's
there's Fable and whatever else, all these different planeswalkers, whatever. But yeah, solid card. A nice little life gain. You can maybe like proliferate, get some counters going, make this thing pretty beefy. So yeah, it's solid. Feast of the Victorious Dead.
Love it.
I love it, and I read it, and for 2 mana, it just sounds like so much.
Yep.
1 white, 1 black. It's an enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, if 1 or more creatures die this turn, you gain that much life and distribute that many +1/+1 counters among creatures you control. So, I guess for each creature that died, you gain a life?
Yeah, so if 5 creatures died, everyone who's left gets +1/+1. Everyone will get +5/+5.
You gain 5 life and distribute 5 counters.
That many 5, yeah. So you get +5/+5 to put wherever you want.
Yeah. It's decent.
I like it. I mean, it's an uncommon for 2.
I was thinking, does Sunfall exile the creatures?
It destroys.
Okay, so you could play a Sunfall and destroy everything, and then incubate, and then animate the incubated creature if you have 2 more mana, and then it would just get all the counters then too.
You could do that.
Have a big boy.
I also like it with some. What's that one called? Path of Peril, because you can kill your little guys and boost
and then put it on the big boys. Yeah, that's true. So against mono red, that's just like you put all your counters on the Shouldered after you kill all their little creatures.
Yeah, even your rampers or even your own little guys, who cares? You're gonna gain them. You're gonna gain their power right back. So
you're gonna have a huge Shouldered or like a really big. You could put them on like your Trespasser.
Yeah.
So that they feel like they have to remove the Trespasser.
Yeah.
And then they actually just never deal with the Shouldered, and that's a thing.
And imagine you could have 2 of these out. This is just a regular enchantment. It's not legendary.
Oh yeah. It's cheap. So yeah, absolutely.
I like that they're all happy ghosts. They're like, yeah, we did it. They're the Victorious Dead. I like the thematic.
Happy Victorious ghosts.
Yeah, they even have trophies. They took Phyrexian heads, so they're like, yeah, that's what they were promised. They delivered it.
Spoils of War. Is that Norn's head right there?
No, it's just a random Phyrexian.
Okay.
It's not Norn's head. Norn's mask was actually, you can see it right here.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know if this is like a recreation. If they just built it for the statue to show that she has her sword through it, triumphant, but
it's Elspeth's Tabernacle.
Yeah. Goldforged Throptrix. A little bit of Azorius Flyers. It is a dinosaur. It looks like it's named Trexodactyl. We're gonna call this the Goldforged Trexodactyl. Artifact creature, dinosaur Thropter, flying and lifelink. Each legendary permanent you control has Ward 2. I like it. If you're running Azorius and you have a lot of legendaries, not bad. I like Azorius Flyers too. It's probably my favorite Azorius build is do Azorius Flyers.
Yeah, solid. Can't go wrong, honestly. Yeah, I mean, it's, Thothers probably didn't need to go any crazier, but I think Thothers are more of a thing. That might be like better in like historic.
Yeah, because there's stuff that helps Thothers, yeah.
All right, next one. I don't know if it's Jirina or Yirina. I think it's Urina, Dauntless General.
Yeah.
When she enters the battlefield, exile target player's graveyard. Wow. A creature that just does it on ETB. We haven't had that.
That's
in a little
brutal.
Bit, you know? Yeah. Sacrifice her. Humans you control gain hexproof and indestructible till end of turn. Outstanding. Yeah. 2/2 for 2. Just another good battle ready Orzhov creature. I like it.
Mm-hmm. I'm not reading this one. Nobody cares.
We already did Ken's funeral previously.
We did Kenra's funeral.
That was the first one.
Yeah.
This is Kiora. I would say we'll skip it because it's Simic, but it is a planeswalker that's lost their spark.
She did get the spark, but she did not lose that thickness, though.
Yep. A loss of spark does not equal a loss of thickness.
No.
I'll tell you that right now. So Kiora, Sovereign of the Thick, 5 mana, Vigilance, Ward 3. Whenever you cast a Kraken, Leviathan, Octopus, or Serpent spell from your hand, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is that spell's mana value. You may cast a spell with mana value less than X from among them without paying its mana cost. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So does this actually give some life to Simic Ramp now?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, Simic Sea Monster's always been a thing. You know, they never work. I mean, everyone always tries to make them work. Unless the opponent is an absolute idiot, they almost never work.
So you're saying we're just going to keep on not caring?
Yeah, basically. I don't know. I feel like they just never work. Occasionally they work well with Oro when there was Oro, that guy, but they have so much ramp, but there's so much removal in the game. Like, who is not going to just start killing creatures left and right or have board wipes? I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
It's true. You're very right about that.
But we got some new Kiora art.
Yeah, at least she's still
thankful for that. Here's Angry. Here go Angry right here. 1 white, 1 red, and 4. Nahiri Forged in Fury. She angry. I like her little pleated skirt there. Legendary creature, core artificer.
Sword.
Yeah, the sword's pretty good too. Affinity for equipment, it costs 1 less for each equipment, which is nice. We always know Nahiri's our equipment girl. Whenever an equipped creature you control attacks, exile the top card of the library, you play this card this turn, you may cast equipment spells without paying their mana cost. So she is going to be the equipment monster that everyone always wanted, or didn't want.
Yeah. All right. And then she has another. She has a big old enchantment. Nahiri's Resolve.
Yeah.
5 mana. Creatures you control get +1/+0 and have haste. At the beginning of your end step, exile any number of non-token artifacts and/or creatures you control. Turn those cards to the battlefield under their owner's control at the beginning of your next upkeep. And that's an enchantment. That's going to happen every turn. Get ready to play your best ETB cards because you can blink everything on the end step now, and that is preposterous.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Nahiri's up to something. I hope that she finally just gets over herself and, hooks up with Soren.
That would be cool.
Yeah. I know she hates
Soren.
Soren
I think Soren needs some ass.
They both do. They just need to get it over. They've been fighting with each other for like 15 years. They just need to get it over with.
Yeah. Fair enough. Here's another lost Sparker.
A lost Sparker, Narset. Desparker. Enlightened Exile. 1 white, 1 red, 1 blue. The old Jeskai special here. 1 human monk, legendary creature. Creatures you control have prowess. Ooh. When Narset Enlightened attacks, exile target non-creature, non-land card with mana value less than Narset's power from a graveyard and copy it without casting its mana cost. She has red, white, and blue swirling around her.
America, fuck yeah.
Yeah, so she's the American monk, and she is going to prowess everybody to death.
All right. Okay, yeah, I mean, cool. Some top end. Yeah, and there's Nashi.
Yeah, here's Nashi.
Sultai Nashi.
Sultai Nashi.
Ward 1, Rat Shaman. When he attacks, exile to 1 target legendary or rat card from your graveyard and copy it. And cast the copy. Not bad. Whatever.
And the funny thing is, lore-wise, she has like she has what's her name? Tamio's brain as like an AI that follows her around.
Oh, I just saw that.
Yeah, Tamio, even though she got completed, she like uploaded her whole consciousness into like a crazy Kamigawa spirit computer, and so she's technically alive still in this form. That's why she has. That's why she has Tamio's
her
scrolls.
Consciousness, if you will.
Yeah, she has like a full consciousness upload. Like it's not just the simulacrum of her; it is her. Her body's dead though, so
that's pretty cool.
Maybe they'll put her back in a new body. But so yeah, that's why Nishi is systemic as Sultai now, because she has basically Tamio attached to her. Okay. We have Niv Mizzet Supreme, which is just regular Niv Mizzet, but they put sour cream and tomatoes on him.
I hate sour cream.
Oh, that's too bad. That's a little Taco Bell joke for all you guys out there. One blue, green as every color. Flying hexproof and monocolor dragon avatar. This is why this is called the Izzet, by the way, because they forgot to put the Niv part on it, and that's why Izzet is called Izzet, is because of the last part of his name, by the way. He was the head of the Izzet Guild. Each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard that has exactly 2 colors has Jumpstart, which apparently I don't know what that is. You may cast that card from your graveyard by discarding a card in addition to paying its other costs, then exile it. Oh, okay. Pretty interesting.
Okay. So like it's just like recasting. So it's okay. That's something. I feel like it's not as powerful as other Niv Mizzets in the past, though. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I feel like I'm not scared of that one. Like people are scared of the others.
I'm not as afraid as the other ones are. Yeah.
Here we go. Ob Nixilis Captive Kingpin. 4/3 demon legendary, 4 mana, flying trample. So he's kind of like back to his previous form.
Yeah.
Whenever one or more opponents each lose exactly 1 life, put a +1/+1 counter on Ob Nixilis Captive Kingpin. Exile the top card of your library until your next end step. You may play the card. Sure.
Interesting.
I can think of better 4-drops.
Yeah, I can think of better 4-drops too.
Sholdred, what's the guy? The 6/6.
Yeah.
Archfiend. Maybe just a Planeswalker.
Yeah.
There's just better stuff.
He's flying and trample, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, like
doesn't seem like he's on par with.
Yeah, maybe I play one of the Mishras instead. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just things like that. See. I'm not terribly impressed. He's not bad, but I'm just not. There's just so many other better options at 4.
He got desparked, so he's stuck on New Capenna now, and they're all mad at him.
It's sad because I wanted him to be good.
Yeah. Pionelar, Council of Revival, 1 red and 1 Thropters you control have haste. There's your Swapter right there.
Okay.
So you can build your Thropter up. Whenever you play a land from exile or cast a spell from exile, create a 1/1 colorless Swapter artifact token with flying. Renegade turned Revolutionary turned Rebuilder. 2/3.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Look at this one. Rebuild the City.
Oh yeah.
6 mana sorcery, 3 colorless, and then Jund. Choose target land. Create 3 tokens that are copies of it. Wow. Except they're 3/3 creatures in addition to their other types. And they have Vigilance and Menace. They're affected by Summoning Sickness. So that's cool. Just land destruction and make 3/3/3s.
Yeah.
I like it.
Pretty good. I mean, it's expensive, but interesting Jund build.
Yeah, it's once again is a 4-for-1.
I like how the Riveteers were just like, hey, metal is metal. Melt it down and start building. Shit. Yeah. That's where they're like, Phyrexian Designs had to go. The materials, metal is metal. Throw it on the floor. Who gives a shit?
Oh, the Phyrexians lost? Sounds like you got to get back to work.
Yeah. Eat your fucking meatballs, wipe yourself off, and start building again. For God's sake.
Yeah.
That's why I like the Innistrad during the invasion. They were like, oh, crap, monsters invading. Oh, my God, what are we going to do? Like, nobody gave a shit. They were like, yeah, it's fucking Tuesday. There's monsters from beyond time and space attacking. Okay, great. Rocco Street Chef. Even though he looks like a devil, he's actually a elf druid. White, red, and green, the Naya. At the beginning of your end step, each player exiles the top card of their library. Until the end of your next turn, each player may play the card exiled that day. Whenever a player plays a land from exile or cast a spell, you put a 1/1 counter on target creature and create a food. Interesting.
Okay. Not amazing, but something.
It's something.
Yeah. Okay. So Samuts or Samut.
I love this guy.
Vizier of Noctimoon. 2/3 for 3, colorless and a Gruul. Human warrior cleric.
Yeah.
Cleric, notably. He is a legendary. First strike, vigilance, haste. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, if that creature enters the battlefield this turn, draw a card. So that's pretty good. Making sure you don't run out of gas in Gruul.
Oh yeah, no, Gruul aggro, he's a for sure ad. I mean, a 3-drop with first strike, vigilance, and haste is already pretty good. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Sarkin, everyone's mad that he got desparked, bro. Everyone's mad about it.
Yeah, I know people liked him.
Yeah, and also that he's has blue in him now because he used to be only red.
Mm-hmm. I remember
that. 1 red, 1 blue, and 1 dragons you control cost 1 less. I don't know how many blue dragons we have, so I don't know how useful that is. I guess we did have that Temur dragon build in alchemy, so it might go into that. Whenever dragon you control enters the battlefield, you may have Sarkin become a copy of it until the end of turn, except its name is Sarkin Soul of Flame and is legendary in addition to its other types. So it will copy any dragon that comes into play and make dragons cheaper. Sure, yeah. I mean, limited but useful.
Yeah, for 3 mana, I guess he's not bad, but he's not like amazing. This one's cool. Sigarda, Font of Blessings, 4 mana, 4/4 flyer. Other permanents you control have hexproof. It is a legendary. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast angel spells and human spells from the top of your library. Yeah, good.
It's not bad. I mean, I've liked all the Sigardas.
Sigardas have always been good about getting you more creatures in some way, you know? So that's solid. And then just overall, just like a good body.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I love the art, too. It's very nice art.
Sick art, for sure.
Here goes Tyvar the Bellicose, who, frankly, had a wonderful time during this Phyrexian invasion. He was like, this is great. I got to stab whatchamacallit to death. So that's fun. What's his name? Tybalt. I got to beat Tybalt to death. I got to punch people.
Tybalt.
Oh, yeah, he killed the hell out of Tybalt. Yeah.
Nice.
He literally just punched him to death. 1 green, 1 black, 2, 5/4. Whenever one or more elves you control attack, they gain death touch. Very nice. Each creature you control, whenever the mana ability of this creature resolves, whenever a mana ability of this creature resolves, put a 1/1 counter on the equal to the amount of mana this creature produced. This ability triggers only once each turn. So if you have mana dorks like Llanowar elves or anything like that, a lot of elves do generate mana. When they do have that mana trigger, they get 1/1, and they're always going to have death touch when they attack. So nice Golgari elf tribal for us coming in.
Pretty solid. Okay, here he is, Karn. And Karn is a creature.
He is a creature.
He is a golem. His power and toughness are equal to the greatest mana value among artifacts you control. So if you have a portal, he's a 9/9. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Beginning of your upkeep, add a colorless for each artifact you control. This mana can't be spent to cast non-artifact spells. Until end of turn, you don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. So that's cool. Can be used for kind of like, think of it as like Power Stone mana, I guess. You know what I mean? It's floating and it doesn't go away. That's cool because you can use that with your things to flip your Praetors. You know?
Not bad.
So that's pretty sweet. And then and then you keep your power stones out and and you have more artifacts and Karn gets bigger. And then maybe they have to deal with Karn before they can deal with your Praetor because that's the thing. And then you're drawing out the removal, all that stuff. It's just it just kind of it's solid. And if you're gonna go the whole like using artifacts to ramp into your Praetor, like transformation or just whatever your big mana sink is, then he can help get you there. So once again, I think Karn is useful.
Yeah, I'm sad that he got desparked because it means that maybe they broke Xancha's Heartstone, which was the good Phyrexian sleeper agent who helped Urza. So lore-wise, maybe Xancha's Heartstone burned out. That's sad. But I mean, I don't ever play artifacts, so I see people. This is very abusable. I'm certainly that somebody could do it.
Yeah, I think those what is it? The Aetherflux Reservoir decks. He might have a place in that. You know what I mean? Especially considering that now he is an artifact, which means his casting cost can be reduced. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like there's going to be some abusing.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll have to see how that goes.
And
our last card now.
A little interesting land here: Dranith Ruins. Add 1 colorless. Put 2/1/1 counters and target non-human creature that entered the battlefield this turn. Not crazy, not great. This is Ikoria, by the way. I guess for colorless non-human or is pretty cool. I mean, I'm probably never gonna use it, so who cares?
At least the ability doesn't like run out. Like you can do it as much as you want.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is useful for running monster decks. You could throw.
Like, sorry, go ahead.
You could just throw one of them in there just in case.
And it also looks like this is an instant speed. So, you didn't block my 4/4. You only have 5 life. All right, now it gets 2 counters. Now you're dead. Just little things like that, So you can just play as like one, and another cool thing, you'll get priority with it a lot of the time. So that's kind of cool too because you can bluff things. You know what I mean? So yeah, you'll get priority that way, and then you can maybe catch somebody slipping, blocking wrong while they're getting used to these new cards. They may forget that you can add counters in response. They do a fight spell, damage spells, put counters on it. Maybe it doesn't die. Little things like that.
Yeah, this could be useful. I get that.
I think we have some useful things here.
I think there's some useful stuff. I mean, am I blown away by all of them? I think all of them are going to be usable. This is all just showcase art, by the way. This is all just.
There's some sick art.
There's some really good art. I'm not going to lie. The artists really wanted to work on. They were cooking on this one.
That other Spark Rupture, the showcase of that is insane. Color
let me
wise,
see if I can see it.
It's like the second.
Reckless handling, the Here's Resolve. Markov Baron, Blot Out.
I think you're further down.
Oh.
Yeah, you want to go a little higher up there. Keep going up.
Well, no. Oh, maybe it's in this one.
Oh, wait.
No, that's just the extended art.
Mine is the showcase. It is the 5th card of the showcase.
Oh, I see the promos.
Yeah, there's a very beginning.
Halo foils or showcase?
No, just showcase. I think you just scrolled right past it.
Oh, okay. Extended card art and Halo foils?
No, just regular showcase.
Oh,
which is right below the cards we just did.
Showcase. Right yeah.
There.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, that's pretty cool art.
Isn't that sweet?
Yeah, pretty good looking. I also like that they did stuff in the Capenna style. They did it in their Plains particular style. This was the style of Ikoria, had this kind of pencil.
Yeah, that's cool. I like the blot out. Blot out has like the Kamigawa style with the samurai sword.
Yeah, they did. Oh, they all did them in the art. So that's pretty awesome.
The Oni is the Kamigawa style, and the Markov is like the Innistrad,
the vampire style. This is done in the
that's cool.
Kaldheim, yeah.
Arnie is Kaldheim, yeah. Urborg is what the fuck is that again?
Stained Glass of Dominaria.
Yeah, stained glass. That's right. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm really happy. Oh, then we have like that mystical archive Strixhaven stuff. That's cool. Animus Might with the old school, and then is that the...
Yeah, that's all old school Nissa.
That's sick.
This was Ixalan style. This was the Nyx bound style Ravnica. That was the that was the... What is that called?
That's Strixhaven.
Strixhaven, but they called this particular style was Arcane Index or something like that.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, where they had all the old spells written in, yeah.
Or Mystical Archive.
Mystical Archive, yeah. So, pretty interesting, cool stuff. I don't know. I don't know how much it's going to affect the meta. I don't think it's going to at all. I think 1 or 2 cards are probably going to see play. But I do not think this is a huge shakeup, frankly. I don't see it just absolutely rupturing the current play style.
Yeah, I think you just are gonna like buff certain things that are already good.
Yeah, I mean, it's just gonna like
that's what you're gonna do.
Deification will make there's stuff that'll make Planeswalker decks better. This is gonna make mono white angels better. Soldiers is gonna be enhanced a little bit. Knights might have a better chance now. Everything just got a little bit of a little extra. Is it necessary though? Was this necessary? Did we need this?
That's a great question. I don't know. I mean, I guess you got to buy more cards now, don't you, Jay?
Oh, I'm so broke. Oh God, so, that's why we need you. If you want to see these cards, come join the Patreon. We need the money. We got to buy all these. They're releasing cards at like one a month now. They're releasing new packs once a month. So come on, guys, help us out here. Trying to stay competitive.
These did just drop in the beginning of the month, didn't they? Like the second or something.
They did.
Beginning of last month.
We got 30 days between them, man. I can't keep doing this.
I think they said it drops on the 12th, so like maybe patrons a week after you see this, it'll be
Yeah, it'll be pretty close when you see it. We'll put this up on Saturday or Sunday. Yeah, that's pretty much all we have. What do you think about it? Tell me in the chat. What do you think? Leave a comment. Do you think this is necessary? Do you think it's a cash grab? Do you think any of these cards matter at all? What's your thoughts? What's your feelings?
Do you think that it was worth the Pinkertons going to that guy's house to protect
to stop people from seeing this? Do you think it was worth them doing what they did?
Was it that serious?
Was it that serious that they could not let out that, we had Nashi Moon's legacy at that guy's house? So, yeah, that's the real question we all need to dig deep and ask ourselves. Was it worth it? But we will leave it there. We'll be back next time. I think they do want a lore video coming up. We'll have to do one of those.
Let's do some lore. That's cool.
We'll do that. We just did a deck build. Maybe we'll do an interview. Maybe we'll grab somebody to do an interview with too. We haven't done one of those in a while as well. Luna Nix was a fun have on there. She wants to come back too, but we'll talk about that. Yeah, we will we'll do some lore. We'll do something else, and we'll see you back on the Black Council podcast in the future. Awesome. That's all I got, guys. I've been JV, you've been great. As always, with me is my co-host Numbskull. He's at num_skull_ at twitch.tv. Let me put up those links right down below. Black Council, patreon.com/Black Council. I'm at twitch.tv/thatvillainj. Both of our Twitter handles, our AetherHubs, all that information is right down in the description in case you want to join it. Thank you all for being here. Have a good one. I'm calling this meeting with the Black Council to a close. Goodbye, everyone.
Take care.